going on? Nice to meet you in person.
Nice to meet you.
Definitely. Thanks for coming all the way this way.
Appreciate you doing this, man.
Yeah.
Offensive coordinator. That's a big promotion from pass game coordinator. But I would imagine because of what you've done the last 2 years, smooth transition?
You know, it has been. We have a lot of staff continuity, even a lot of player continuity, which certainly helps that. And I think being in an environment where you can continue to learn and grow in responsibility is always an awesome thing. Been super fortunate, obviously, to learn from Coach McVay and you know, coming here really 3 years ago, being able to see what it looks like, what it feels like as I transition into this next role has helped that a lot.
I love that. I love the perspective. And I know from knowing Sean for a long time, I often joke with him that he's the best kingmaker in the NFL. And he always stops me and says, no, it's what we do here. So the fact that he looks at all of you guys, all of his assistants, as people who have not just a small role here, but that he's pouring into you so then you can pour into other people. How important is that?
Yeah, it means a lot. I do think that there is some of that happens by osmosis, the interactions that occur day to day, seeing how things operate, how people move. They've made a huge impact on me, but I do think that he does take it to that next level where he takes time and invests in his assistants. We take a lot of time, I feel like, behind the scenes, long before we even get into the football of just what it looks like to build a culture, what it looks like to coach, to teach, how to communicate at the highest level we possibly can. And so I'm definitely a beneficiary of that from him.
I covered Sean when he was a young tight ends coach with the Washington Commanders, and then when he became the OC. And I remember when he interviewed for this job, a lot of people thought he wouldn't get it because he was so young. I wasn't one of those people because I had been around him and I knew his attention to detail,
Sure.
how smart he was and how hardworking he is. Everybody tells me the same thing about you. Is that a pretty good comparison when you hear that?
You know what? That's pretty special. I think anytime being in the same breath as him, as a coach, as a culture builder, got so much respect for him and what he's done here, but even his transition along the way of becoming a head coach at a young age, and just the impact he's made on the game, both schematically, to the culture he's built here in LA, the foundation he set. I know for me personally, to be able to have learned from him for 3 years has made a tremendous impact on me as a coach, as a man. And so, yeah, to be mentioned in that same vein means a lot, but I have certainly learned a lot from him, you know, in these few years being around him.
I remember talking with you not too long ago about your experience with the Bill Walsh Diversity Coaching Fellowship, with the Offensive Mandate Program.
Sure.
You felt that they benefited your career. Are those things that can just help a lot of young coaches show who they are?
Yeah, the Bill Walsh Fellowship was my first opportunity to set foot inside an NFL building. That experience probably enhanced my curiosity for just, man, what is this NFL all about? Because I wouldn't have known about or been able to experience it outside of that. And so, you know, because of that relationship building, the ability to get a foot in the door and have proximity to Sean himself, this organization in general, was huge for the trajectory of my career and just my overall learning and growing in who I wanted to be as a coach.
We'll put you in the spot here, okay?
Yep.
The Browns, reportedly, you were right there for that job.
Sure.
You know, passing game coordinator with the Rams, that doesn't seem like too big a jump to be a head coach of a team from here with the job that you had. How was that experience and, you know, coming to the point where you were basically a finalist for that job?
Yeah, it meant a lot for me. I think in those processes, you're always trying to paint the picture of what it would look like if you had the chance to lead an organization in that way. And I think got so much respect for them as an organization, and it was cool to be able to paint a picture to them that I think that resonated, you know, and ultimately led to some great conversations, some great thought, and great communication through that whole process. So again, got nothing but respect from them, and again, as much as anything, taught me a ton about myself through that process.
I know you just started a new job,
Sure.
and one thing I know about coaches is they focus on the job they have because they have to do that to be successful. But you have been on the interview circuit already to be a head coach. Do you think about, while focusing on the job at hand, where you might be in 2, 3, 4, 5 years?
You know, probably less than you would think. I think there's a quote out there somewhere that says the best meat makes its own gravy, and I believe that to be true. I think all those steps along the way have taught me a ton for the position ultimately that I'm in now. And it hasn't really been one of those things where it's, you know, you're sitting there and you're looking at the future. There's always so much that you feel like you're trying to learn and grow, and I feel like I've been able to do that along the way, and you know, I feel like in hindsight more so you look at that growth that's occurred. But it's really just been an awesome opportunity to be in the places that I've been so far in my career.
Good. Tap and turn, let's go. Let's go, here we go, open it up a little bit.
This is one of those leagues that, yeah, you get too far in front of yourself, or, you know, conversely to that, too far looking in the past, it'll humble you quickly. Yeah, we drew a schedule that does not have any room for, you know, any weirdness, any weakness at all. So we'll have to be ready to roll.
And we know where the Super Bowl is this year.
Sure, here in LA, that's right.
It worked out the last time the Super Bowl was here.
Yeah, no, we're well aware of that. But again, it's one of those things that, you know, that's a peak on a far off mountain, and the best thing we can do to help ourselves get there is to make sure we stack the days that are in front of us right now. There's a bunch of little things along the way that we got to do a great job of being intentional and efficient with, and yeah, hopefully at the end of it all, we say, hey, we put ourselves in a great spot to be able to compete at that level.
You got to win every day to win at the end.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And we'll have to be ready to roll.
But you guys know what you got to do.
That's exactly
Appreciate
right.
you, man.
Appreciate you.
Okay.
Yep.